So we're here with the new workout of the week. This one's a little bit more complex than some of the other ones we've done in the past. So for this one, there's going to be a main lift for each day. So day 1 is going to be the front squat, day 2 is going to be the bench press, and day 3 is going to be the trap bar deadlift. And with each one, you're going to work up to a heavy set of 3 to 5 repetitions, and it doesn't have to be an absolute max rep. It doesn't have to be a soul-crushing personal record, but we just want it to be something that's pretty darn challenging for that day. So once you've built up to that heavy set of 3 to 5, you're then going to take 10 to 20% of the weight off and then do every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. So you're going to do 3 reps at the start of each minute, and then however much time you have left after that is how long you'll rest for the remainder of that minute for 10 reps, or for 10 rounds, I'm sorry. So we'll start off demonstrating the front squat. I don't think I need to demonstrate the bench press since everybody in America seems to do it on every single Monday. And then I'll show the trap bar deadlift, and then we'll go over some of the accessory work that goes along with each day. So we're going to start off with the front squat over here. So you can do either the traditional clean grip or what we call the California grip or the bodybuilder grip, whichever one feels best to you depending on your wrist flexibility. So you want to have the weight sitting right up onto your collarbone as close to your neck as possible with your elbows lifting up, because we don't want anything to start dropping down as we descend into your squat. So stay as tall as possible, keeping the abs engaged. We're going to have you sit straight down, coming straight back up. So you build up to your max set. Let's say you got up to 150 pounds for 5 repetitions that day. So you then take 10% off, which would be 15 pounds. So bring it down to 135, and then do your every minute on the minute, 3 reps for 10 rounds. So that's the front squat. So like I said, day 2 is the bench press. Day 3 is the trap bar deadlift. You can use the high or the low handles. Just depends on your mobility. But you're going to stand inside the trap bar, so keeping the chest up nice and long. So getting your grip centered, driving through the heels. So we're going to stand all the way up, squeeze, and then coming back down. Reset at the bottom of each rep. We don't want you to come up and then try to bounce it off the floor. We want to get a full stop, and then come back up each time. Good. So those are the 3 main lifts: the front squat, the bench press, and the trap bar deadlift. So then there's a circuit to follow each one. So we're going to go over to the board and take a look at it, and we'll go over each exercise from there. So I apologize for my handwriting. It's always been terrible. So you're going to do 5 rounds of each of the accessory circuits after you finish your main lift. So the first one, we're going to have 2 dumbbells up on the shoulders, doing a full squat to press. So a lot of squats on day 1, a lot of leg work.
Please dial 0. Eric, please dial 0.
You can do pull-ups or chin-ups for as many repetitions as you can for that set, and they can be assisted with a band or a machine. It's up to you. And then lastly, mountain climbers. So this is one we see get butchered quite a bit, and it kind of turns into this sort of hips high, everything's jumped action. We want it to be back nice and flat, cores in tight, and we're pulling forward and back, maybe just barely touching that front foot on the ground. So for 15 each there. So you do the front squat and press, pull-ups, and mountain climbers for 5 rounds. Next, we have 2 dumbbell step-ups. So holding dumbbells at your sides, stepping up on the box, switching back and forth each time. TRX rows on the suspension straps, hanging all the way back, keeping everything engaged and pulling up to the ribs for 10 repetitions. And then lastly, straight leg sit-ups. Coming all the way down flat, keeping the arms up long, going straight up at the top, coming all the way down. So trying to maintain that good long spine alignment as you come up. We're not using the arms for any kind of momentum. That's why they're staying pointing at the sky the entire time. Lastly, we have our standard kettlebell swing, so coming down to a nice flat back, giving a good hip extension. We want to finish at the chest. Going all the way up tends to cause this lower back overextension, so we want to stop right here each time. So getting the good American style swing, as they say, no rounding of the back. Then a goblet lateral lunge and curl. So holding that kettlebell up on your chest. Then you step out, sink into your lateral lunge, adding a little bicep curl for a little extra arm work and a little extra time under tension. All the way out, down, up, all the way in. And lastly, you can do a hanging or a lying leg raise. So a lot of different variations on this. You got to go with the one that's going to be the most effective for you and safest for your back. Our most basic variation, so it'd be laying all the way down and coming straight up, keeping the lower back flat, not letting it arch up off the ground. Everything stays imprinted, as they say. Coming down, all the way up. More advanced than that would be hanging from the pull-up bar and doing the same thing. Either the knees or harder would be the straight legs coming out. Same thing. 5 rounds of each accessory circuit once you finish your main lift for the day. And then just 10 minutes at the end of active mobility, stretching, yoga, maybe some crawling drills. Just something to kind of get you back up and moving and loosen everything up after all that hard work you just did. And that's our workout of the week.